The weather has cleared up, the rain has stopped, and second pillar feels like he's doing it again. A video clip up host, after watching a live broadcast of a certain host's Hokage, edited a large number of failed Sasuke B collections and received a lot of coin support. But I never expected it. One day, while editing a video, he suddenly twisted and rotated through space, entering the world of Naruto. What surprised him even more was he actually became the character in his commonly used materials who often fail to pretend to be B. Uchiha Sasuke. Of course, it's not just about traversing that's simple, but he also got the strongest evasion system. The more ruthless B is, the more benefits it brings. That's right, handsome and able to pretend, that's me. From now on, the new generation of Sasuke embarked on a journey of dressing up in B. The term Heirju, also known as Zhong-er, is already in the past tense. Please call me Zhua Bai Wang in the future. Keywords of the novel. Kiba's Strongest Escape without pop-ups, Kiba's Strongest Escape Complete Collection Download, Kiba's Strongest Escape Latest Chapter Reading. Chapter 1. The Strongest Escape System, Seeking Collections and Recommended Tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. The Strongest Escape System, Seeking Collections and Recommended Tickets. The weather has cleared up, the rain has stopped, and second pillar feels like he's doing it again. A video clip up host is watching Wu DGE's live broadcast in the Fire Shadow world while recording and organizing the latest materials. Regarding the story of Brother Wu, please refer to I Live in Huiying for details. He is a very typical Sasuke black. Every time I see Sasuke pretending to be forced, I feel unhappy, and every time I see Sasuke pretending to be forced to fail, I feel guilty. The original materials inside Naruto had already been cut to pieces by him, and everything that needed to be cut was cut out, until one day he discovered a broadcaster named Wu Di who had traveled to the world of Naruto. This made him feel like he had discovered a treasure, so he followed live broadcasts every day. The live broadcast didn't disappoint him either. It brought him a lot of material about Sasuke's forced outfits, allowing him to edit more video clips that Sasuke's forced outfits were inevitably rough. This makes him feel refreshed and comfortable every day. Moreover, he gained a large amount of coins and achieved his life goals. This day, he just saw that Erju was being bullied by Hinata, played by Wu Daiji, and felt relieved. He quickly edited the video and prepared to publish it online as soon as possible, becoming the video initiator. During the editing, Sasuke's face kept appearing on the screen and reflecting onto his face. In fact, Erju is quite handsome, but he is too capable of pretending to be powerful. If I were Erju, I would be indecent and underdeveloped. Continuously clinging is the way, still young. Buzz. Just as he sighed, the computer in front of him suddenly trembled, and then the screen rolled and twisted, turning into a deep purple-black vortex, like a wormhole in space, exuding a sense of mystery everywhere. What is this? Shoo, shoo. A powerful attraction burst out instantly from the wormhole, sucking him directly into the screen, accompanied by a whirlwind, with no concept of time and space. I don't know how long it has been. Finger movement. Open your thick eyelids hard. A clean and rustic ceiling appeared before my eyes. The shape of this room is very unfamiliar, and the architectural style is not at all familiar. What exactly is going on? My heart beats faster. An inner turmoil. Looking down at his hands that had become different, he seemed to realize something that was neither scientific nor magical. I've traveled by myself. Isn't it? He immediately got up from the bed was clean, and there was a very neat table next to the bed with a mirror on it. Look in the mirror. This is his first thought. Since such a thing happened, how could we have to travel to a handsome person? He walked up to the mirror without hesitation, picked it up, and placed it in front of him. From the mirror, he saw a handsome face without a doubt. Handsome is not wrong. It's just too special. You look familiar. Eyes so familiar that it's disgusting. Isn't this special? The second pillar. Accompanied by a cry of surprise, the mirror fell off and fell to the ground, shattering with a click, causing the whole person to tremble slightly. Sleeping slot. Sleeping slot. Sleeping trough. I actually became the second pillar. He seemed like a soulless body, powerless and falling to the ground, as if he had lost his soul. My mentality has collapsed. It's hard to say in a single word. In an instant, his mood was like the shattered mirror not far away. It's too difficult. Isn't it fair? Why can Wu Daiji become a field, but I have become Erju? Although Erju is quite handsome, I also want to become a cute little sister. Wait. Where are my cheats? I don't have a live broadcast room or a system. Is it just a cheat to become a second pillar? Where's my ding-dong boss? Having received 9 years of compulsory education, am I not as outstanding as others? Just as he was on the brink of collapse, the most beautiful electronic reminder sound in the world sounded deep within him. Ding-dong. The sound rang out, and he suddenly jumped up, his blood flow speed increasing throughout his body. That's right. Ding-dong, the big shot is here. Ding-dong boss is walking towards us with a cheat. The strongest evasion system is being bound. Binding progress 0.1%, 0.2%, 0.100%, system binding successful. Clearing the host's native capabilities. Clearing progress 0.1%, 0.2%, 0.100%, native ability cleared successfully. Confirming host information. Information, name. Uchiha Sasuke. Rating. E. Number of points. 0. The very simple 3-line information appeared in his mind, completely confusing him. How could the system be different when it was his turn, becoming so rudimentary? Host information loaded successfully. After a brief pause, the electronic sound of the system continued to sound, still so crisp, but not as pleasant as it was at first. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the strongest evasion system. The strongest evasion system will record every attempt by the host and rate the form of the host's evasion, which will be converted into the host's system points. System points are the currency that hosts use on the strongest evasion system. Hosts can use system points to enhance attributes, purchase goods, and participate in lucky draws. Considering that the host's native abilities have been cleared, the system has issued a beginner gift package to the host, which has been stored in the system package. Wishing the host a pleasant performance. Ding dong. With the last prompt sound, the system's sound disappeared, and all sounds disappeared along with it. I really became Sasuke. Not only that. I also got the system. The system still wants me to pretend to be forced. Oh my goodness. He felt that all of this came too suddenly, and even before he could react, he began to gradually accept this unbearable fact. Okay. Since this is the end of the matter, from now on, I will be Uchiha Sasuke. I will replace the original Sasuke and pretend to fly all the way until it gets dark. Handsome and able to pretend, that's me. From now on, there will be no more pillars in the world of ninja, only the legend of, I assist the king, will remain. What? You said I didn't know how to pretend just now. Hee hee. Tell you 2 words. How fragrant. Sasuke flicked his hair, and now that he had become Sasuke, he immediately noticed that his face had become exceptionally handsome. What is in this attribute? Sasuke opens the attribute list in the system. What is visible to the eye is a hexagon, with a character at each corner and a rating for that character at the end of each character. Jing. E. Body. E. Fantasy. E. Ninja. E. Force. E. Speed. E. Is this really my attribute? As a former senior Sasuke Black, I still acknowledge Sasuke's strength. From my scumbag-like attributes, unless this E describes size, I am simply a spicy chicken now. No. It's clearly the big carrot chicken among spicy chickens. Hurry up and continue reading. The list of abilities is empty, with nothing, even cleaner than his face. Further down. After opening the store list, there are only 2 large characters. Not yet. There is one last item. The lottery list is displayed in the form of a slot machine, with the same line of text and a square box around it, like an ancient seal, which reads, "Not yet opened." This ability has been cleared too thoroughly, right? Sasuke rubbed his eyes helplessly. He inexplicably felt that his eyes were a bit sore, and in such a situation, he had to pretend to be forced, otherwise he would be showcased to the sky. It's so difficult for me. Wait. I almost forgot. I also have a beginner gift pack. Sasuke immediately mobilized the system panel and searched for the package inside. After finding the package, he found a very festive red gift box inside. Looking for book lists, recommendations, collections, and various types of support. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Newcomer Gift Pack, Seeking Collection and Recommended Tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Newcomer Gift Pack, Seeking Collection and Recommended Tickets, Open the gift pack. Sasuke squinted his eyes slightly. It was his first time traveling, but he had never eaten pork and had even watched Piggy run. As a seasoned fan of novels, he had read many of the novels he had traveled through. Before crossing. He loves reading novels on the Chidian app the most, where the authors are particularly diligent and the readers are cute, providing a very good reading experience every time. Based on his experience of reading novels, the first big gift package after time travel is definitely amazing. Whether he can comfortably pretend in the future depends on what this gift package provides. Suddenly. Accompanied by his thoughts, the red gift box was opened and turned into several streams of light that soaked into his body, then the system package became empty. Ding dong. Novice gift package activated successfully. Congratulations to the host for receiving the following rewards. 1. Original Blood Inheritance Limit Compensation, Riding Will Eyes, Double Goyu. 2. Basic Ninjutsu Gift Pack. 3. Random Attribute Enhancement, D. Level. 4. Ninja World Universal Currency, 10,000 taels. 5th, the Universal Language and Writing Ability of the Ninja World. 6. A Guide to Future Events in 1 year. Ding dong. Accompanied by the last system prompt sound, the mysterious Ding Dong Master disappeared once again. Is this the beginner's gift pack? After listening to these 6 items, Sasuke found that there were 6 more items on the empty system package grid, each with a different icon. The first one is the blood red eyes, with 2 black jade dots on them. Double Goyu Riding Will Eyes. This is a good thing. Sasuke's eyes suddenly lit up. Just as he was cleared of his native abilities by the system, his blood inheritance limit was completely cleared, and he could be said to have turned into a whiteboard. Of course. Not only did Sasuke's blood inheritance limit and other abilities be eliminated, but also the chakra from the reincarnation of Indra. Now Sasuke can be said to have lost the specificity of Indra, will not enjoy the benefits of Indra's reincarnation, and will not be influenced by Indra's will. Click on the right will eye and an explanation will immediately pop up. Writing Will Eyes, Shuang Goyu. The bloodline of the Uchiha clan, possessing the ability of inside eyes, able to see through all the subtle movements and seals of opponents, and hypnosis eyes, using visual illusion to control opponents. Writing Will Eyes are divided into single Goyu, double Goyu, and 3 Goyu. The more Goyu, the stronger the ability. Do you want to use it? Yes. No. Sasuke saw such an option and without hesitation chose yes. As an excellent Uchiha tribe member, if you don't even have a writing will eye, how can you pretend to be coerced by others? Buzzing at the moment of confirmation, the eyes immediately became hot, and the strange pain spread all the way to the brain, then passed away in an instant. It hurts a bit. Sasuke rubbed his temples, and the pain came and went quickly. After a moment of intense pain, there was no sensation left. The former two pillars angrily opened a single Gyuyu Sharingan on the night of the extermination, but now the king of Zobi likes to lift the double Gyuyu Sharingan after crossing the border. This is a change. Sasuke's mouth slightly curled up, and just as he spoke, his pitch-black eyes suddenly changed. A pair of blood-colored pupils suddenly appeared, emitting a mysterious and eerie light. Shuang Gyuyu's Sharingan only opened for a moment, causing a great burden on his body. An unprecedented sense of fatigue surged throughout his body, and then transformed back into his originally black pupils. This writing will I really consumes chakras. Sasuke clearly felt that some kind of force inside his body was being pulled out, which was the unique chakra of this ninja world. Anyway, now we have the right will I again and have even raised it by one level. It's a good thing, but it's not very easy to handle. Sasuke thought of his ability to rate each corner of his hexagon as E, and he seemed to understand in his heart that pretending to be forced must be on the agenda, otherwise as time passed, he would not have the capital to pretend to be forced. Subsequently, looking directly at the new first compartment of the system package, without the writing will I, the items in the package moved forward one compartment in sequence. On the first grid is a scroll. Click. Basic ninjutsu. Includes shape-shifting, clones, stunts, breakdowns, and instant moves, which can be perfectly mastered after use. Do you want to use it? Yes, no. Sasuke once again clicked yes, without hesitation, and now these basic ninjutsu skills are exactly what he needs, which are essential ninjutsu skills for ninja school assessment. If you don't know these, imagine Sasuke dropping a chain during a ninja school exam. The scene was so overwhelming that even he couldn't bear to edit it himself. Buzz. Sasuke's body trembled slightly, and a warm current surged over him. The basic ninja techniques that these ninjas often have were immediately understood and perfectly mastered, ready for use at any time. Continue to look at the package. This is a round ball that appears transparent and looks like a hollow bubble. Click. Random attribute promotion, D. Level. Immediately elevate a host's attribute rated as E to D. Level. Do you want to use it? Yes, no. After seeing this, Sasuke's instinctive reaction was that this randomness was controllable. As long as all the other 5 attributes were improved, the only remaining E level could be raised to D level through this bubble. However, no need. Now the key is to highlight the attributes. Yes, Sasuke nodded and used it. The bubbles in the package immediately grew larger, and the hexagonal shape of the attribute panel came to mind. Drip by drop the 6 attributes light up one by one, the brighter and the faster, and they switch to each other, just like in a lottery. Ding! Finally. The light suddenly froze on the body, and the rating of the body changed from E to D. The shaded area covered by the hexagon expanded by a distance. Buzz. Sasuke's body suddenly trembled, and the muscle lines throughout his body became more prominent, giving him a wonderful feeling. My physical fitness has improved. It's like exercising in the gym for a while and feeling refreshed all over. I need to research and study what these 6 attributes are in the future. Sasuke hasn't had a chance to carefully examine these attributes yet. The priority of the beginner gift package will still be higher. First, get everything you can and then slowly study what's going on with the system. The next pattern inside the package is very simple and rough. A banknote. Click. Ninja World Universal Currency, 10,000 taels. You can obtain 10,000 taels of Ninja World coins. Do you want to use it? Yes, no. This one doesn't require any hesitation at all. Money matters. Who can't get along with money? From the unit of this currency, it should be the universal currency of Hokage. After giving a positive response, Sasuke had an extra banknote with a face value of 10,000 taels, which can be said to be all his current funds. Once again, focus your gaze on the package. This is a pile of books. A slightly earthy yellow cover with faintly visible standard Japanese characters. Click. Ninja World Universal Language and Writing Ability. Gain the ability to speak and write Japanese at the native language level. Do you want to use it? Yes, no, this must be selected yes. Sasuke had also been worried about this matter in his heart. If he didn't understand the language, not to mention pretending to be forced, he was afraid that he would be directly regarded as a fool. After selection. Flowing light flickers. Sasuke only felt a slight itching in his throat, and a deep 50-tone chart appeared in his soul consciousness. His powerful language ability perfectly blended, as if he could do as he pleased. There's only one left. Sasuke's face became solemn. This future event guide may seem a bit disappointing to him, a traveler who knows the plot, but it still makes him unable to ignore it. Open it and take a look. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. I am Sasuke, make friends. Seeking collection and recommendation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 I am Sasuke, make friends. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. This icon is a piece of paper that looks like it was torn off a notebook, with some text on it, but the text is too small to be clearly visible from the icon. Click. A guide to future events in 1 year. A brief summary of major events that the host will experience in the next year. Do you want to use it? Yes, no. Sasuke did not hesitate to choose yes, which is the last item in the beginner gift package. If the items in the beginner gift package are not used, it would be a pity to leave them unused. Ding dong. Suddenly. A crisp sound rang out from his mind. Current time. January of the 60th year of the Annals of the Wood Leaf. A brief summary of the future time of native characters. In March of Kiba's 60th year, the ninja school graduation exam. In May of the 60th year of Kiba's reign, he embarked on a C-level mission to the Kingdom of Wave. In July of the 60th year of the Kiba era, the Chinese ninja exam was held in Kiba village. In August of the 60th year of the Kiba era, Orochimaru launched a plan to destroy Kiba village and Uchiha Itachi returned to Kiba village. In September of the 60th year of the Kiba era, Gungute became the 5th generation Hokage of Kiba village. In October of the 60th year of the Kiba era, Yuan Sasuke followed Orochimaru in pursuit of power. Note 1. The above times are all past trajectories and may not occur perfectly under the host's current influence. Note 2. In the above event, Fabi will receive an additional bonus system points. An additional map of my village is included as a bonus for the host. Wishing the host a pleasant performance. Ding dong. Accompanied by the last system prompt sound, ding dong Big Boss gently left, just as it gently walked. If that's the case. Sasuke's eyes flashed with a hint of solemnity as he murmured to himself, there's less than 2 months left before the graduation exam at ninja school. This is very important. After the graduation exam, former Sasuke was not the most powerful one in the same period. Many times he pretended to be forced but failed. Now his strength is not as good as the former Sasuke. What is most needed to pretend to be forced? Strength. Those with strength pretend to be awesome, while those without strength pretend to be stupid. Sasuke is deeply aware of this. When he was editing materials, he once summarized this point. The biggest reason why Sasuke was able to pretend to fail was that he was not strong enough. If it's as strong as Lao Banzi, are you still afraid of overturning by pretending to be forced? I must think carefully. There are actually many ways to pretend to be forced. The previous Sasuke costume style was too simplistic. Pretending to force can be done in form, behavior, or language. Sasuke opened the attribute list of the system and focused his gaze on that hexagon. The current rating for physical fitness is D, while the rest are rated E. We must first understand what these attributes represent. His personality is like this. You can't be confused. When playing games in the past, it was like this. Whenever skills and equipment appeared, it was necessary to read them clearly and make them clear, and not to play randomly. He looked at the text on the hexagon. Suddenly, a row of introductions appears at the end of the text. Essence. Affects the total amount, recovery speed, control ability, and texture of the host chakra. Physical fitness. Affects the host's physical fitness, endurance, physical fitness, ability to learn and proficiently use physical techniques. Fantasy. Affects the host's ability to use and resist illusions. Ninjutsu. Affects the host's ability to learn and master the use of ninjutsu. Strength. Affects the host's wrist strength, foot strength, and core waist and abdominal strength. Speed. Affects the host's sensitivity to movement, stress response speed, explosive sprint speed, and the persistence of maintaining high speed. Sasuke carefully read through every word introduced and gained a simple and comprehensive understanding of these 6 attributes. Simply put, these 6 items can be divided into 2 aspects. The 3 items of physical strength and speed are all related to physical skills, and the essence and ninja illusion are all related to physical skills. Now that my body is at D, if given the opportunity, I can prioritize improving my physical strength and speed. After reading these contents, Sasuke made a growth plan for himself in his heart. How to improve it? A question mark suddenly popped up in my mind. I casually clicked on the rating behind Jing. Rating E, 0 out of 100, a progress bar has appeared. Sasuke immediately understood that what this progress bar requires is system points. As for how to obtain system points, it is already very clear, just pretend to be forced. It's time to go out and pretend. Sasuke shook his head, picked up the broken mirror fragments on the ground, and looked at his handsome face. Suddenly, he understood Sasuke from before. Such a face. It's a pity not to act forced. Let's go to the ninja school and take a look. I don't know what to do at this time, and I haven't received any other information. When I first come to the ninja world, I still need to adapt. Sasuke stood up and walked outside. As he opened the future events guide, he had a map of Kiba village in his mind, knowing where the ninja school was located. I have to say, no wonder the people of Uchiha want to rebel. This place is too remote, isn't it? It's like a suburb in the suburbs. I've never lived in such a remote place before. Sasuke walked out of the house and walked towards the central area of Kiba village. He was the only member of the Uchiha clan, but he did not leave the area designated by Tuanzang for the Uchiha clan at that time. From the perspective of future events, there is no need to worry so much about the affairs of Bojigwa and Uzebo Itachi. The main issue is how to pretend to be coerced, and the most important thing to worry about is Orochimaru. The feeling of being remembered is really not good. Sasuke pondered and touched his neck. He didn't want to be planted with a strawberry by Orochimaru, as he had no idea about the spell imprinting technique used in the 2nd year. You must become stronger before the Chinese ninja exam. Sasuke's gaze became firm. If he wanted to become stronger, he had to pretend to be coerced. Now, Ben Bai Wang has come to pretend to be coerced. Half an hour later, Sasuke comes to the ninja school. There are dozens of students gathered in the yard of the ninja school, which looks like they used to do outdoor activities during physical education classes in elementary school. These ninjas look a bit familiar. The first thing Sasuke saw was a blonde boy dressed in orange and black clothes, sitting alone on the swing, out of place with the noisy scene not far away. The Crown Prince. Naruto Vortex. 9-tailed pillar force from my village. It's a bit interesting. Sasuke's mouth slightly curled up and walked straight towards the direction of the swing. Behind the unnoticed noise, he arrived at Naruto's swing. Naruto looked up at Sasuke, with a hint of doubt in his eyes. He didn't understand why someone appeared, let alone why it was this person who appeared. Then, there was a hint of rejection in his eyes. This person is someone that Sakura likes. He likes Sakura. So this person is his enemy. Just as Naruto turned away and didn't want to pay attention to Sasuke, Sasuke extended his hand and smiled on his face. Hello Naruto, I'm Sasuke, make friends. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Please submit as you wish. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Please submit as you wish. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. Upon hearing these words, Naruto was stunned for a few breaths before finally rubbing his eyes hard. I didn't hear it wrong, did I? Naruto certainly knows who the person in front of him is. The only member of the Uchiha clan, a prominent family in my village. As for where the other members of the tribe went, he didn't care so much. It was just that Sasuke's usual cold and aggressive demeanor left a deep impression on him, clearly not as approachable. I heard you right. Sasuke shook his head. He had no intention of specifically looking for Naruto, but he happened to see it and immediately sparked many sparks of inspiration. The significance of Naruto is extraordinary. Whether it's the kid who was misunderstood as a nine-tailed demon fox now, or the future 7th generation Hokage, they are definitely the most worthwhile investment in the ninja world. Ah. My name is Naruto Vortex. How could you be friends with me? No one wants to be friends with me. Naruto lowered his head slightly, and the swing swayed slightly under the trembling of his body. Throughout all these years from birth to ninja school, the only thing that could accompany him was loneliness. There's not so much truth. Just follow me in the future. Huiying is yours, and Xiaoying is also yours. Sasuke waved his hand and said very strongly. He thought of a joke from Hokage fans, winning to make Hokage and losing to marry Sakura, so, Naruto little brother, it's different now, you can eat it all. +1. Just as he finished speaking, a combination of symbols and numbers flashed in front of him, displaying +1. Is this considered pretense? Hurriedly open the system panel and immediately see that the number after the average point has changed from 0 to 1, increasing by 1 point. I see. Did you simply complete your first act of coercion like this? Naruto looked up at the handsome face in front of him that had become much more pleasing to the eye, and suddenly felt that life was no longer so lonely. There were still peers who were willing to be friends with him. And Sasuke seems to know himself very well. Knowing that one's dream is to become a Hokage. And, from their words, it seems that they strongly support their dreams, and more importantly, this person says that Sakura is their own. Oh my goodness. Is this the legendary confidant? I am willing. Naruto's gaze became firm, and he looked very sincerely at the young man in front of him. This would be his first friend in life, perhaps the only one. This may be the legendary all-weather friend, a friendship between bamboo and horses. A life and death friendship. In short. Pay as you want. This friend is confirmed. Whatever you want. Sasuke suddenly patted his face and felt speechless. Fortunately, his system did not have live streaming function, otherwise he might have been laughed at by the audience. It's impossible to maintain a lifetime of good reputation. Cough cough, Naruto, we will become friends from now on. Friends should help each other. If anyone bullies you, report my name and I will handle it for you. Sasuke patted his chest and said very happily. Naruto hesitated for a moment before nodding. He had a dreamlike feeling and was floating around, never expecting to become a friend of Uchiha Sasuke in such a way. At this moment, the students gathered at the ninja school over there realized the anomaly and turned their gaze towards Sasuke by the swing. Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke. Lord Sasuke. The fan groups led by Sakura and Ino exclaimed in surprise, their gaze fixed on Sasuke, and their gaze turned to the look of a peach heart. Moment Sasuke directly became the focus of the audience, almost everyone looked towards the direction of the swing, but of course, they automatically ignored Naruto on the swing. Is this the feeling of being popular with girls? Sasuke glanced at these girls indifferently. Only Sakura and Inoue were familiar to each other, while the others were passers-by without any impression. However, he could clearly feel their admiration for him. Bored. Sasuke's gaze did not linger on any of the girls, but instead fell on a ninja among the students. This ninja is wearing a towering braid, wearing the ninja attire of Kiba Village, with Kiba Village's ninja forehead on his head, and a horizontal scar on his nose. He is the teacher of the ninja school, Hino Irika. +1 a number jumped out of Sasuke's eyes, and the system had already regarded his disregard for the crowd as a pretense. Sasuke, you're late. Irika walked out of the student group, with a friendly smile on his face and no hint of blame in his tone. After all, Sasuke is the top student in this class. Sasuke nodded faintly, feeling as if he was saying, I know, my whole body is cold, as if there is an invisible wall in front of me that isolates me. +1 in Sasuke's line of sight, the system points increased again. Not bad, this is also pretending to be forced. Judging from the system rating, this fake is not very good yet. The increase of 1.100 is too slow. On the swing. Naruto's gaze was fixed on Sasuke's back, staring at the emblem symbolizing the Uchiha clan, and he couldn't help but be a bit stunned. Irika walked step by step towards Sasuke. Sasuke, you're late. You should have no grades, but since you're here, let's have a comparison, Irika said with a smile. Just as Irika was speaking, the whole room fell silent, and countless gazes fell on Sasuke. Compared to what? Sasuke had no expression on his face, still looking cold, but with some confusion in his heart. It seemed like today was still a special day. +1 suddenly, the numbers jumped out again in front of my eyes. Wow. As soon as this sentence is spoken, the students are discussing extensively. Is Sasuke serious? He really doesn't know about today's test, does he? They didn't even take it seriously, okay. If I had such skills, I wouldn't take exams seriously either. The majority of the students in the discussion are male, and their words have a deep lemon flavor. After all, they are not as handsome as Sasuke or as strong as him. There is no other way but to have just a little lemon. Sasuke, today is a 1.1 competition, and your opponent is Naoki Chuida. Considering that you were late, we had planned to announce Naoki's victory directly, but now that you are here, we will give you a chance to compete again. Irika had a warm smile on his face. He was a kind teacher, but it was not an abuse of kindness. He was able to give Sasuke a chance, largely because Sasuke was the student with the best grades this year. Good grades will lead to preferential treatment. This is unreasonable reasoning. Shoutian Naoku. Sasuke had never heard of this name before. When he looked at Irika, his gaze immediately locked onto a young man behind him. The young man was dressed in green clothes, clenched his hands tightly into fists, lowered his head slightly and dared not look up, appearing particularly nervous. It should be this person. No need to compare. Sasuke shook his head lightly and put on a very dragging look, directly filling the static pressure value, which immediately shocked everyone. Sasuke, don't you want this opportunity? Irika asked in confusion. Don't be so troublesome, Sasuke shook his head slightly and then, under everyone's gaze, spoke indifferently, let's just count him as the loser. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. The beginning of the road to forcing kings. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. The beginning of the road to forcing kings. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets, wow. As soon as Sasuke spoke, the whole room immediately fell into a state of discussion, and the ninja school students present showed a completely polarized reaction. Most of the boys had a displeasure on their faces, and they all realized that this young man from the Uchiha clan was really trying to pretend. Look at the way you're pulling so hard. It's really annoying. Many teenagers wished to rush forward and punch Sasuke's handsome and somewhat infuriating face hard, educating this talkative kid. But a very realistic problem lies before them. I can't beat it. This is the most important thing. Don't be fooled by others, they really have the ability. Since entering the ninja school, Sasuke has always been the #1 ninja of the same period, with no exception in the past 4 years. Sasuke's strength has already penetrated into the hearts of these people, and they are very dissatisfied with Sasuke, but there is no way. This is the helplessness of the weak. As for those girls, peach blossoms blossomed, their eyes completely transformed into hearts, almost shouting out, their eyes filled with admiration for Sasuke. Handsome. Overlord. Be sure to marry someone like this as a male ticket. The girl army led by Sakura was restless in their hearts, as if they had an impulse to snatch the boy home. +2 the number in front of Sasuke jumps. This time it's no longer +1, there's a progress of 1 throw, and it's directly increased by 2 points. This system is too strict, isn't it? Sasuke's expression remained unchanged, still with a cold and proud expression, while secretly contemplating his future plans to pretend. It seems that low-level costumes are not very effective. We must improve our pretending skills. The number of points added to a low-level outfit is too low, and any attribute that increases from E to D requires 100 points. This low-end outfit will exhaust oneself to death. This. Iruka's brow lightly jumped, and he did not expect Sasuke to say such words, but when he heard these words, he did not feel any surprise. This stinky kid. Still proud as always. Surprisingly, he made others admit defeat directly. Oh, that's not right. It's not about giving up. It's a direct judgment that they lost. Who? Iruka let out a heavy breath, with a helpless smile on his lips. He couldn't help but take a second look at Sasuke, not knowing what had happened to him today. He used to be arrogant and followed the rules, so he was able to compete openly. Now he doesn't even want to compete. This. Iruka turned his head and glanced at Naoki Queda beside him, keenly capturing the latter's lack of confidence, which was a normal phenomenon. Faced with the most powerful student of the same period, no one felt confident. Naoki, what do you think? Iruka's eyes were very kind. He was able to become a teacher at the ninja school, which was closely related to his qualities. He tried his best to sense the emotions of Naoki Queda and wanted to take care of everyone. Naoki Queda was also very conflicted in his heart. He knew the result of this competition and had no chance of winning. But normally, losing means losing, and he doesn't have anything to be unwilling to do. After all, his opponent is the most powerful Uchiha Sasuke among this year's students. Now things have developed to this extent. If you give up directly, it will make you look too embarrassed. Naoki Queda deeply understands the outcome of this competition, but he doesn't want to come directly to the end in front of everyone by giving up. Who loses? Who loses, who wins? You have to compare before you know. The voice of Queda Naoki trembled slightly, and he gritted his teeth and said these words. After finishing, he breathed a sigh of relief, not even thinking that he would say such a thing. Come on, straight tree. On the straight tree. Naoki, fight him. It's not certain who wins or loses. Naoki defeats Sasuke. The young people around them clenched their fists and cheered for Naoki Queda. At this moment, they all chose to support Naoki Queda spiritually. Since that's the case. Iruka's face showed a relieved expression, feeling happy for Naoki Queda's courage. He refocused his gaze on Sasuke and said, "Sasuke, then let's give it a try now." Sasuke seemed to have not heard Iruka's words, still maintaining a solitary and proud attitude. Even after finishing speaking just now, he has not glanced at Naoki Chuida again. Arrogant and indifferent, very cold. +1 Sasuke's eyes flashed with numbers, still a pitiful dot. Although this high-altitude cold outfit forcing method did not bring Sasuke more points, it made the fangirl Tiantuan standing aside feel a great visual impact and shock. "Sasuke!" Iruka called out again, for some reason. He felt that Sasuke today was different from before, as if he had lost something and added something more. However, if he were asked to say what it was, he still couldn't explain it clearly. "Ah." Sasuke responded lightly, and the indifference on his face instantly transformed into a calm and composed posture, as if he was about to do something simple and impossible. One step. Next step. Sasuke took a step forward and walked towards the tall tree in the field. The stride was not large and the pace was not fast, which immediately made everyone in the room have an illusion, as if Sasuke was going to crush a grasshopper. You. What are you doing?" Naoki Chuida was already somewhat afraid of Sasuke in his heart. Now that he saw Sasuke walking straight towards him, his psychological pressure suddenly increased. He couldn't help but move his steps slightly and slowly back, wanting to distance himself as much as possible from Sasuke. Such a small gesture caught the attention of many people. They all realized that Naoki Kita had already become hesitant. +1 Sasuke's eyes once again showed the jumping of numbers. After a series of actions just now, he gradually understood some of the small standards for the system to determine the force, and mastered the knocking of a lost door. Under the gaze of everyone, Sasuke walked all the way to Naoki Chuida, with no facial expressions on his cool and handsome face, which exerted a strong pressure on his aura. "It's really troublesome." Sasuke's faint voice rang out. His voice was not loud, but the scene was too quiet. This voice was clear enough to reach everyone's ears. "Just announce the results directly, wouldn't it?" As Sasuke spoke, his pitch-black eyes suddenly changed, and his blood-red eyes suddenly appeared under the horrified gaze of everyone. Two jade objects were evenly and symmetrically presented on both sides of his pupils. Double Goyu writing will eyes. In an instant, a strange light burst out from Sasuke's pupils, exuding a strange spiritual power that instantly entered the latter's mind through the eyes of Naoki Kuta. "Pop it." At that moment, Naoki Kita's body shook, his center of gravity shifted, he lost balance, and he fell directly to the ground, unconscious. The scene in front of us immediately made all the students in the room take a breath of cold air. Everyone looked at Uchiha Sasuke with a cold face as if he had done something insignificant, and their hearts were filled with shock and fear. Let me talk about the update issue. There is a confirmed case in my community, and I am currently quarantined and unable to go out. I am unable to mail the contract. In an emergency, please forgive me. I will quickly complete the contract and resume normal updates. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. I know everything about you. Seeking collection and recommendation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. I know everything about you. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. Is this the strength of Uchiha Sasuke? It's too exaggerated to defeat Naoki Chuida with just one glance. If someone had told them this before today, they would not have believed it. How could anyone have defeated someone with their eyes? But now the fact is happening before their eyes, and each of them has seen it with their own eyes. It is inevitable that they do not believe it. This visual impact has had a great impact on their hearts, and has caused great waves in the hearts of these teenage girls. However, the initiator of this matter, the new generation Uchiha Sasuke, silently withdrew his Sharingan and walked towards Naruto with the same steps. +3 Sasuke's numbers fluctuated in front of him. This is an unprecedented 3-point improvement, equivalent to this time's challenge. It can withstand the previous 3 attempts and is simply the energy-gathering ring in the challenge. Each attempt is even stronger than the previous 3 attempts. Very satisfied. It's not easy to complete a 3 o'clock costume at this time. After all the attributes of the body, except for physical fitness, are E. If we describe size and scale, it's okay, then the attribute table looks almost like a vision table. Not speaking again. There are no arrogant words, no arrogant harsh words, and even no slightest change in expression. What Sasuke presented to everyone was like him silently walking over and back, without even waving his sleeves or taking away any clouds. One step. Next step. Sasuke walked towards Naruto sitting on the swing in a daze. +2 the numbers in front of me jump again. Sasuke's mouth slightly curled up, revealing a faint smile. It seemed that this wave of pretending was relatively stable. After all, the opponents were all students, so there was not much challenge. This smile reflected in Naruto's eyes. Inexplicably Naruto didn't know what was on his mind, so he lowered his head slightly and his cheeks turned slightly red. Iruka first looked at Sasuke's back as he walked back, then shifted his gaze to the unconscious Naoki Queda and quickly ran over to check. Straight tree, wake up. Iruka patted Naoki Queda's face and injected a chakra into it, disrupting the chakra in his brain. Moment Naoki Queda's eyelids twitched slightly, and he opened his eyes, with a hazy glint in his pupils. What's wrong with me? There was a big question mark in Naoki Queda's mind, and his memory seemed to be fragmented. His last memory was seeing those red eyes, and then he had no memory at all, as if he had fallen asleep. You lost. Iruka took a deep breath and didn't say much. Naoki Queda didn't use hallucination, he just used a very simple hypnosis technique. However, compared to ordinary people, Naoki Queda used the hypnosis technique of Sharingan. I understand. Queda Naoki lowered his head and a hint of desolation appeared on his face. He was very aware of the gap between himself and Sasuke, but this competition made him realize that the gap was so big. Don't lose heart, keep working hard. Iruka smiled and comforted Naoki Hatsuda, gently tapping his shoulder with a hint of strength. He then stood up and wrote down the result of the previous confrontation in his notebook. Today's competition is all over, everyone can go home after school. During this time, we will strengthen our training and the time for your graduation exam is getting closer. I hope that by March, you can all wear ninja protectors instead of meeting again at school. Iruka's final statement sounded the horn for the end of class, and the students immediately dispersed in groups amidst cheers. On the swing side, Sasuke lowered his head and looked at Naruto, who seemed somewhat lost, realizing in his heart the reason for Naruto's loneliness. Did you lose the competition? Sasuke asked indifferently. As the son of the plane, Naruto was indeed a bit weak in the early stages, but after the cheats caught up in the later stages, the improvement speed was almost as fast as flying. Naruto nodded and, feeling a bit lost, tidied up his goggles, looking like a wrong daughter. Lol. It's nothing. Let's go. I'll treat you to ramen noodles. Sasuke said calmly, then turned around and walked towards the road outside the ninja school, leaving Naruto with a silhouette. What are you saying? Naruto was stunned at the moment, and a smile immediately appeared on his face. He quickly jumped off the swing and chased after Sasuke, following behind him. Ramen noodles. Who can withstand this? How can we not eat this? As Naruto ran towards Sasuke, he saw the Uchiha emblem behind him and felt even more that Sasuke was a very good friend. Why didn't you notice it before? The haze of Naruto's failure in the competition was swept away, and his heart was suddenly filled with sunshine. Today is a day worth remembering, and he has gained the best friend of his life. In the courtyard of the ninja school, Sakura and Ino watched as Naruto caught up with Sasuke and walked with him. They coincidentally exchanged a glance, both seeing the deep question mark in each other's eyes. What's the situation? Sakura's face was bewildered. I don't know. Inoue was also confused. How did Naruto get together with Sasuke? Sakura's voice was filled with a hint of disbelief. These are people from two different worlds. Inoue took a deep breath and couldn't figure out what was going on with the male god. This is so strange. Xiaoying frowned, feeling a bit uncomfortable with the scene before her. The person she liked the most and the person she didn't like the most walked together, and the art style was a bit strange. The scene of Naruto leaving with Sasuke. Not only Sakura and Inoue noticed, but many students also noticed. After all, Sasuke is the focal point of the ninja school, while Naruto is a person that many people avoid. This combination must be said to be difficult for them to understand. Sasuke walked in front, his steps were windy. He had a map in his head and knew the location of Yao Lamian noodles. At this moment, he is looking at his system panel. Point count column. The display number has changed to 13 points. I am still very pleased in my heart. The speed of point increase is quite good. This is just a small trial in the ninja school, and there are already 13 points. Upgrading from E to D requires a total of 100 points, so it seems that the speed of improvement is not slow. We need to hurry up and pretend in these 2 months. You must make a qualitative leap in your attributes during the ninja school graduation exam. Sasuke, how do you know I want to become Hokage? At this moment, Naruto, who had been silent for a long time, suddenly began to ask. This question had been held in his heart for a long time. Being able to be known by others and cherish his dreams was very easy to open the door to his soul. You said this thing. Sasuke suddenly stopped, and the gradually coming night made the road slightly dark. At the end of the road was Yao Lamian Noodles restaurant, which shone from the curtain. The whole environment of my village was different in this cruel ninja world. I know everything about you. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Fill people's hearts. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Fill people's hearts. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets, Sasuke's faint voice echoed as he gradually immersed himself in the empty streets under the night sky, as if it were a heavy hammer that struck the weakest point in Naruto's heart. +5 The numbers are jumping before my eyes. This Sasuke was taken aback for a moment, completely unexpected. I never expected that any pretentious words would earn even more points than the ones I just offered to write will eyes. Why is this? Sasuke hesitated for a moment. Does this sentence deserve so many points? Does the system have any different judgment methods? It must be clarified. This is the key to obtaining large points. Sasuke looked at Naruto in confusion and saw him standing behind him in a daze, with tears shining in his eyes. Not so much. Sasuke's mouth twitched. He remembered that Naruto in the original work was quite strong, but now he seems a bit sentimental. What kind of situation is this? It seems to be a bit different from what he expected. No, it's okay. Naruto rolled up his sleeves and rubbed his eyes hard, saying, the wind is too strong, and sand has entered his eyes. Sasuke was speechless at the time. This person was quite assertive, and the reasons were quite clumsy. It was clear that there was no wind at all. Wait. Can you say? Sasuke's mind lit up with a sudden enlightenment. At the beginning of the original anime, Naruto was an unpopular orphan, unaware of his heroic parents, and even misunderstood as a fox. Almost everyone kept a distance from Naruto. If it were someone else, their mentality would have collapsed long ago, and they wouldn't even know what it would have turned into. However, Naruto has always maintained a strong and optimistic attitude, not only without resentment towards Kiba village, but also with a dream of becoming a Hokage. Under various actions similar to smearing Hokage rock, Naruto hides a heart that wants to be recognized by others. When Naruto still hopes to be recognized, any subtle actions or words from anyone can touch his sensitive heart. Just now this sentence. It precisely satisfies Naruto's desire to be recognized. If understood from this perspective, it can be said that this forced act is on the point, just right, and deeply ingrained in people's hearts. I see. Sasuke instantly understood that any form of disguise will be judged through the disguise and evasion system. If it is an extremely ordinary disguise, the points added will be less, but if it happens to match the disguise, even a simple sentence can increase a lot of points. This is easy to say, but not so easy to do. However, Sasuke's mouth slightly curled up. He was no longer the former two pillars, but the Sasuke king who knew all the plot of Hokage. With so much information, it was not too difficult to achieve targeted pretending. Yes, that's it. The sand got into my eyes. Naruto was still rubbing his eyes, mistakenly thinking that Sasuke's words earlier, I see, were in response to what he had just said, and naturally believed that he had rounded himself up. Come on, Naruto, I'll treat you to your favorite Yaolamian noodles. You can eat as much as you like. No matter how much you eat, it's my treat. Sasuke walked towards Naruto and lightly patted his shoulder. The young crown prince in front of him was the only person he believed had investment value in my village. Managing the relationship with Naruto well not only allows Naruto to generate points, but also helps to generate points through the involvement of Naruto. Besides, Naruto is really persistent. When Urju joined Orochimaru in the past, Naruto pursued him for 3 years until he married and had children, becoming Hokage. He still couldn't forget Urju. So now Sasuke believes that through his future training, Naruto will definitely be more determined than in the original work. Cough cough. Think of it here. Sasuke choked on his saliva. He had no other intention of being friends with Naruto, just to pretend to be forced. Immediately, Sasuke turned around handsomely and walked towards Yaolamian noodles, which revealed the lights. At the moment when he took steps, Naruto put down his sleeve and followed him. One by one, they came to Yaolamian noodles and sat down. Sasuke, do you have enough money? Naruto sat down and just ordered noodles, but he still thought about Sasuke in his heart. If the latter didn't bring much money and ordered too much, he would feel embarrassed if he couldn't pay the bill. Just eat. Sasuke took out a banknote with a 1 and 4 zeros on it and patted it directly on the table. The sound of his palm colliding with the tabletop highlighted his extravagance with a face value of 10,000 taels. You're so rich. Naruto widened his eyes. For him now, 10,000 taels is simply astronomical. +2. Sasuke's eyes twitched with a number. Sure enough, it's just pretending to be right. Sasuke immediately confirmed his conjecture, mainly that Naruto is now poor. Uncle Yael, I want 3 bowls of Lamian noodles, okay? Uncle Yael started cooking noodles very casually, without any intention of inserting himself into the conversation between the two. His white chef uniform gave a sense of detachment. Sasuke looked deeply at the uncle who was cooking noodles. This person, who is rumored to be surnamed Daitongmu by various experts, has not been revealed until the end. Since we have arrived at the world of Hokage, you still need to be cautious. What if there really is a hidden boss attribute? Naruto, we will be graduating in March, and I believe you are very aware of this, Sasuke said, turning his head. Graduation. Naruto instantly wilted, thinking of the cruel graduation exam, and his interest in eating noodles disappeared for the most part, leaving him with little appetite. Naruto, don't you want to become Hokage? Why are you even afraid of the graduation exam? Sasuke's mouth slightly curled up, gradually guiding towards what he wanted to say. Your grades are good, of course not afraid. I haven't passed the exam twice before, and this exam is too difficult for me. Naruto's confidence is getting weaker and weaker. You went to school early enough. Sasuke was stunned for a moment, feeling that this crown prince had been relegated twice and was still the same age as himself. He didn't know why the 3 generations had to let Naruto study so early, just in the morning, and it made Naruto's identity among his classmates so awkward. Yeah. Naruto's smile disappeared completely, and as he spoke, he recalled the unpleasant childhood that was not worth remembering. Naruto, the topic of our graduation exam is the technique of separation. Sasuke suddenly spoke up, revealing the future exam questions. With limited information, he was so stubborn. What? Naruto suddenly raised his head and stared at Sasuke with wide eyes, his eyes filled with deep surprise. The decibel of his voice increased significantly, and he asked, "Sasuke, how did you know?" +3 suddenly. The numbers are jumping before my eyes. Sasuke's eyes twitched slightly, and Naruto's shock point was indeed lower. The effect of pretending to be forced would be even more outstanding. I have good academic performance, as teacher Iruka told me. Sasuke quickly threw out the blame, and Naruto didn't go back to ask anyway. It's over, it's over. What should I do if I'm not good at clone art? This exam will be gone again. Naruto fell into a panic after being surprised. Among the 3 body art, he is best at transformation art, but unfortunately, he didn't take the graduation exam for transformation art. I said we are friends, so friends should help each other. During this time, you have followed me for special training to ensure that you pass the graduation exam smoothly. Sasuke patted his chest firmly and said with a confident smile on his lips. Starting today, we will resume double watch. Thank you for your tolerance and understanding these past few days. End of this chapter. What are the conditions in Chapter 8? Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What are the conditions in Chapter 8? Seeking collection and recommendation tickets, +2. Just as Sasuke finished speaking, a number appeared in front of him, which surprised him somewhat. In fact, even he doesn't know if this is considered pretense, but with the addition of points, it should be fine. It seems like it happened to be in Naruto's heart. It seems that pretending to be coerced can be aimed at a group of people or at a certain person. As long as you get the other party's point B, that's all. Really? Is that okay? Naruto's eyes were tightly fixed on Sasuke, with a hint of cautious expectation on his slightly desperate face. It felt like a drowning person had discovered a life-saving straw, but he didn't dare to reach out and grab it. Of course, I am the top student in our class. Sasuke confidently assured without any sense of guilt. Yeah. Sasuke, you're amazing. Naruto's eyes flickered with a little star. He used to hate Sasuke and thought he was particularly pretentious, but now that we get along, he finds Sasuke particularly pleasing, and the more he looks, the more handsome he becomes. No wonder Sakura likes Sasuke. Naruto suddenly understood Sakura a bit. +2. Sasuke's eyes twitched with numbers again, as he had already obtained many system points from Naruto. The noodles are ready. At this moment, a deep voice rang out, and the owner of the voice was Uncle Yile, who was cooking noodles. Uncle Yile held a plate with 6 bowls of noodles on it, and directly placed it on the table in front of the positions of Sasuke and Naruto. Please enjoy it slowly. After Uncle Yile finished speaking, he didn't stop for a moment and immediately turned around to return to his position. Wow, it smells so good. I can't help it anymore, Sasuke. I'm going to start. When Naruto saw the ramen noodles in front of him, his mouth was almost watering, and the haze in his heart was immediately swept away, and the whole person was immersed in the joy of eating noodles. Immediately. Naruto didn't even wait for Sasuke. Ramen couldn't hold on anymore and started eating noodles in large gulps. I'm also starting. Sasuke picked up the chopsticks from the noodle bowl and slowly ate the noodles. He didn't eat as casually as Naruto did, appearing more refined, but not as elegant. How to pretend to be forced when eating noodles. Sasuke has now formed a conditioned reflex, and no matter what he does, he will think in his mind about how to pretend. Eating upside down. Forget it. Sasuke pressed the idea in his heart that he might become very angry. He pretended to be forced for a while, so let's eat noodles with peace of mind. Open the system panel. Focus on the number of points. System points. 25 points. Sasuke was still very satisfied in his heart. He had just arrived at the world of ninjas and had just acquired the system. He was not yet proficient in playing pranks and needed some time to integrate. On the first day, there was such a point acquisition. Not bad. Sasuke looked towards the store and the lottery, and found that both of them were not yet open. Currently, the only function of system points is to improve attributes. Upgrading from level E to level D requires 100 points. So how about upgrading from level D to level C? Sasuke curiously clicked towards the unique D.level attribute body, and suddenly a progress bar appeared behind it. Rating D, 0 out of 200, you need 200 points to upgrade your body to level C. The number of points required to elevate D.level to C.level is equivalent to elevating 2 E.levels to D.level. Then add the body. After a moment of contemplation, Sasuke silently made a plan in his heart. His current physical condition is D.level, and he feels a slight change, but it is not very obvious. It's obvious. Rating D is also a spicy chicken attribute. Raising 2 E's to D may not have a significant overall effect, so why not try raising 1 D to C? After careful consideration, Sasuke has made a decision to directly increase the system points to the only body rated D. Buzz. Suddenly. Changes in body attributes. Rating D, 25 to 200, in an instant. Sasuke felt a subtle warm current throughout his body, as if he had just undergone some intense exercise, with a slight sweat and a refreshing feeling. I see. Sasuke's eyes lit up suddenly, and he realized that it wasn't just a matter of crossing levels that there would be changes, but rather a process of improvement where there would be changes. Even if they are rated D as well. The effect of a 0-point entry bar and a 25-point progress bar is also different. Improve at any time and become stronger at any time. When the progress bar is full, it will be promoted to the next rating, and the improvement obtained at that time will be greater. Sasuke now has a clearer understanding of the operating mode of his system. After this wave of attribute improvement is over, the system points will return to 0, and you need to continue playing to gain more points. More points will bring more strength. Yeah, Uncle Yael's noodles are delicious. Naruto thought Sasuke was talking to him, and answered with a smile. The Crown Prince now smiled very pure and genuinely regarded Sasuke as a friend. In the original work, the two are both enemies and friends, competing with each other. Although Naruto has been pursuing Sasuke for many years without success, he still feels very uncomfortable watching him at certain times. At this moment, Naruto feels very comfortable in his heart. The inner self that grew up lonely from a young age has been filled. It's okay. Sasuke nodded. He was just eating noodles while looking at the system, and his attention was all focused on attribute points, not paying too much attention to the taste of this bowl of noodles. Sasuke, how did you know that I was going to become Hokage? Naruto didn't eat so hungry anymore and gradually developed a desire to chat. I've said it before, I know everything about you, Sasuke said lightly. +1, impossible. Naruto shook his head and said, even I don't know everything about myself. Naruto, I know everything you know. I also know what you don't know. Sasuke whispered as he stared at Naruto. +2, don't joke, Naruto shook his head again and said with a bitter smile, I don't know who my parents are, do you know? I know, Sasuke nodded lightly. +2, do you really know? Naruto looked at Sasuke in confusion, his breathing gradually becoming rapid, and his heart couldn't help but feel a bit nervous. His background was also a big stone in his heart. Naruto, I can tell you about your background, but I have a condition, Sasuke whispered in Naruto's ear. What conditions? Naruto became completely nervous, his hands clenched into fists, and his palms were already sweating unconsciously. End of this chapter. Is this a confession to be made in Chapter 9? Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 10. Love Enemies. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Love Enemies. Seeking collection and recommendation tickets, +2 After Sasuke finished speaking, he walked away under the nervous gaze of Sakura, without giving her another chance to catch up. Of course. After this process, Xiaoying no longer has the courage to catch up and continue confessing. Hey! Xiaoying watched as Sasuke's voice disappeared into the night, couldn't help but sigh, and with a hint of disappointment, took a step towards home. Xiaoying, why are you so cowardly? You didn't catch up with such a good opportunity. Next time, you must take care of Sasuke's first kiss. Xiaoying walked while cheering herself up. Sasuke was unaware of these words. Sasuke has already walked towards the remote residence of the Uchiha clan. The Uchiha clan's territory is too remote and distant, to the point where almost no one can be seen along the way. Just now I scraped another 6 points from Sakura. Sasuke looked at his system panel and chose to add all 6 points to his body attributes. Body attribute. Rating D, 39/200, I now have 39 points. Nearly 1/5 of the progress has been completed. Half an hour later. Sasuke returned to this unfamiliar house, where the beds and tabletops were neatly arranged, indicating that Sasuke was originally a very disciplined person. This is a good habit that needs to be maintained. After washing up, Sasuke lay in his own bed, closed his eyes, ready to fall asleep, with his mind constantly echoing with scenes of what had happened today. Magical. It's like dreaming. But it actually happened. A very dreamy feeling. Sasuke didn't know how to describe his mood. He forced himself to stop daydreaming and instead fall asleep. The body is like a mobile phone. Sleep is about charging your phone. Adequate charging will bring new vitality the next day. This is the truth he understood when editing videos before. Staying up late does not increase efficiency much, but instead makes his body more vulnerable, especially when watching small movies while staying up late. It feels simply amazing. The next day. Early morning. Sasuke woke up early, and they were very similar in that they didn't have the habit of lying in bed. After some washing, they embarked on the road to ninja school. It's not about learning anything. The ninja school teaches very basic things. Actually, it's just pretending to be forced. There is no place more suitable for pretending to be forced than school. This walk takes half an hour. The Uchiha clan was too far away from the center of Kiba village. Even though they had set off early, when they arrived at the entrance of the ninja school, they still caught the rush hour of school. Whoosh! At this moment, a figure quickly rushed towards Sasuke with the wind, and the instantly startled momentum startled Sasuke. So fast. Sasuke suddenly became cautious, his ankles suddenly exerted force, and he quickly made a lateral movement to avoid the person's attack. Clack. With the sound of the soul colliding with the ground, a blonde girl landed at the position where Sasuke was just now. This girl has long golden hair tied behind her back, wearing a blue ninja suit that accentuates her graceful figure. In the mountains and in the wilderness. When Sasuke saw this person, he already knew her identity. Sasuke, you're hiding so fast. Ino smiled and said, with a slightly coquettish tone that carried a hint of resentment, but it didn't show up on his face at all. Sasuke. Just as Ino finished speaking, another voice rushed over from far to near, and just from the tone, it could be determined that it was the Haruno Sakura I had just seen last night. Sasuke sighed in his heart. What should I do if I am liked by many girls? It's quite urgent, wait online. Sasuke only paused for a moment before taking a step back and walking into the ninja school. However, the pace of his steps was slightly faster than before. Leave this land of right and wrong. When Sakura chased after Inoue, Sasuke had already left. The two of them looked at Sasuke's proud back together, and a word popped up in their hearts. How handsome. Sakura and Inoue spoke in unison, their eyes fixed on Sasuke, completely captivated by his temperament and appearance. Of course. Not only Sakura and Inoue were captivated, but also many young girls on their way to ninja school. +2 after Sasuke walked over, a number flashed through his eyes, and the system's points increased again. Sasuke. Suddenly. Another sound sounded. Although also shouting Sasuke, there is a very obvious difference from the previous two voices because it is a male voice. Schwa. In an instant. Numerous gazes turned towards the owner of the voice, and a blond boy hurriedly ran towards Sasuke, with an innocent smile on his face. Naruto Vortex. When everyone saw Naruto running towards them, they instinctively stepped back a distance, and many people's eyes flickered with disgust. This is not that. Shoo, don't let him hear you. He dares to find Sasuke. My mom, he's been repeating his grade for 2 years. What's he comparing to Sasuke? Watch it, I think he's going to make a fool of himself. He. After everyone saw Naruto running over, a look of schadenfreude appeared in everyone's eyes. In terms of fame, the two of them were not much different, and they were basically well known in the student circle. Just one of them is a genius who always comes first in exams. The other person is the last crane operator. It can be said that there is no intersection between two people. Among the crowd of people gloating, Sakura and Inoue looked a bit strange in their eyes. They exchanged a glance, both able to see doubt in each other's eyes. When did the relationship between Naruto and Sasuke end up so good? They both saw Naruto and Sasuke chatting together yesterday and leaving together to eat noodles. Is there anything wrong with this? Just as everyone was surprised, the aloof and indifferent Uchiha Sasuke stopped moving forward, turned around under countless gazes, and his gaze fell on Naruto. Naruto, good morning. Sasuke gave a gentle greeting, without any waving or fluctuating tone, everything seemed so simple. But this kind of scene still shocks everyone's heart. Sasuke can actually say early. +4 when everyone was shocked, the points increased accordingly. Sasuke, in a casual manner, completed a pretense that shocked everyone at the door. This pretense was more about the contrast in their hearts, but it was enough to make countless girls who had expectations for Sasuke unbelievable. Good morning, good morning. When Naruto greeted him, he couldn't help but shiver. He faintly felt that the girls around him were casting murderous gazes at him, as if seeing him as a rival in love. End of this chapter.